Hi there from Custom Home Builder Solutions, also known as CHS, a job costing, full accounting, and profit management software for the professional home builder. We are continuing in a series of videos about all of the various tools and features on the Add New Payables Bill window that custom home builders have all sorts of needs for, and because I've worked as an accountant for so long, various things I wished I had just right on the window where I was doing bills, because you can be posting bills or checks you're going to write for all sorts of reasons. In this case, we are going to talk about the feature on the Payables window for entering something. Let's say you went to Office Depot and you bought something that actually somebody else is going to pay you back for. And so you really would like to just post the check for that, for buying that, and at the same time put something into receivables that somebody owes you back for that. So that's what we're going to demonstrate here. So first of all, I'd like to go show you something over on the chart of accounts, which take a little moment to open just while it gathers all the balances in various accounts on our accounting chart of accounts. What I'd like to show you is that when you set up CHS, you set up something called control accounts, so that CHS will know which accounts to use. For example, when we're doing all these payables bills, it goes and posts an offsetting entry to accounts payable to the account that you've marked as the accounts payable control account. We also ask for the accounts receivable control account so that we know which one, when you're posting accounts receivable invoices, to post our offset to. But when you're posting a bill, you can actually select the accounts receivable control account as the GL account for your payables bill, and then CHS is going to react to that and ask you who is it that owes you this money back. So it's going to know that's the control account for accounts receivable. So let's just do something that's not related to a job. Let's say we went to Office Depot. So we'll do a quick bill here to demonstrate this, so it's not trying to do any checking for jobs, etc. Usually if somebody's going to reimburse you the whole amount, you probably don't want to put it to a job. And we'll leave it to overhead and other, and we'll just pretend like it happened today. We could change those dates if we wanted. And let's play like we have some little invoice from Office Depot we need to pay. And right now, the default that dropped in, because we have Office Depot set up as a vendor with a default GL account of office supplies. But watch what happens if I go ahead and select accounts receivable trade. It's first of all going to give me a message telling me that I selected that control number and that I'm going to need to select a payer ID in the buy field, and there's a hyperlink to supply it with an accounts receivable invoice number, and you can drop down and select an ongoing invoice number for that payer if you want. So let's just play like it was $30. And what I'd like you to know is that it's not going to like you to put a sales tax percent in. It'll eject to it and turn it red. It has to do with the fact that we're also offsetting, and we don't want to do these double entries to accounts receivable. If there's some reason you want to show them that separately, you can. But I think on this, it's not going to make too much difference. Let's play like I put $8.25. It's when I post it that it'll tell you. So the total with sales tax is $32.48. So let's do $32.48 and put that sales tax back to 0. It will error and tell you why. That if it's a receivables, if it has the receivables GL account, don't put a tax here, because we just don't want to end up with all these weird entries over to accounts receivable also. So our payor, let's just play like Jimmy Randall is a project manager, and let's play like we bought him something that's for him personally. I don't know what we would buy for $30. Maybe some notebook that is not for his work that he just asked us to get. And we probably actually have some other lines for paying Office Depot. Maybe we ran. We can add those lines, but this line we would need to have separate, and we could add other lines for posting the rest of it to office supplies. But we won't do that. We won't take up time with that. But I happen to know that we have James Randall set up. He's actually the owner of the company, but we're going to call him a project manager that's going to pay us back for this. Now notice that it will drop down and show us if we have any AR invoices for this payer, which we don't. So we need to supply an invoice number. And so CHS will do that for us. If we want to look at all AR invoices that are out there, we can click this hyperlink and do that, and it's going to show us. We don't have a whole lot, and a lot of custom home builders don't have a lot of AR invoices, but they might if we're just wanting to review some various sorts of invoices there. But we supplied an AR invoice number for this, and we're going to go ahead and submit this. And we might be paying several things to Office Depot. We could even have put this on a credit card, which we're going to talk about later, so I won't do. Let's just put this as unpaid to pay later. Maybe we're accumulating some stuff that we're going to pay to Office Depot. And we can view our posted entries afterwards, and if for some reason there's an uploaded document we want, or we want to write a note about it for when the boss is approving overhead bills, we can write a note about that, James Randall's supposed to pay us back, I guess. When they see it on the payables window, this amount to Office Depot, you might write a note, actually, that's just is going to reimburse us. And like if there's a big amount or something else, you might want to have written that note so that that little pin icon will show up when it's being posted, when it's being reviewed for payment. You can see that over here, and then we'll jump over to the receivables. But if you look at your unpaid payables, and we just say we want to look at the ones for Office Depot, this big window, there's two OK1s and OK2s for doing approvals, which we've gone over some in some other videos. There's OK1 and OK2. Usually it's the field manager over on the job cost window where they don't see any overhead bills that will be putting in the OK1, and then the OK2 is for the big boss to approve. But they can see that there's a pinned note here if they're going, well, what is this amount for, and should I approve it? And since the bookkeeper said James Randall's going to, pay us for this, they might have written on there it's posted to receivables, then the big boss might go ahead and check mark that as okay. So you see how that works. If you're wanting to write something special about it. But let's jump over to our accounts receivable. And let's take a look. First of all, let's just look at all AR invoices and balances summary and see what's in there. And what you see is that there is one in here, 8 for $32.48. We can drill down on that invoice, and we can take a look at it being posted here where it says Office Notebook, etc. It shows that it was posted in the AP journal rather than the AR journal, so that can give you a clue. It's retrieving data for this record, but it's going to tell you when you try to edit it that you need to go edit this one on the payables window itself. So, and if you need to change the invoice number for some reason, I guess you could there. And so let's close that. And that gives you, when you do that, you can see anybody that owes you money see some of these have obviously paid. So if I drill down, I'll see that there was a payment received for that. See, right here. So let's just do a search. Let's say we want to do a search and we want a balance not equal to 0, and I showed this before, but you'll get a tip down here, and there was a watermark there telling you that if you want to search for some amount not, or something not equal to something, you have to use an exclamation point equals 0. That's just web lingo. So we'll submit the search, and you'll see that he stays here until you post a payment on the deposit window from him. When you receive the payment, you'll do that on the deposit window and select the accounts receivable invoice number, and then that will get cleared. There's more about all of that, of course, when we have our accounts receivable videos. But I wanted to show you how that will show up there over in accounts receivable, and you do that by using the accounts receivable control account number when you're posting a bill, if somebody's going to pay you back for that bill that you're posting. And I hope that helps, and thank you for watching.